Yo, what's going on, guys? Chris Bonner here, Overtime Athletes. So I wanted to follow up with one of the videos that I made probably about a week ago, and it was how to jump higher off of 1 foot. Now, I kind of just threw it out there and didn't really think it through, and I just wanted to let you guys know what my process would be if I'm a 2-foot jumper, would have to do if I wanted to get better at 1 foot jumping, right? I'm under the impression that you guys that are asking, you guys are basketball players, you guys are wanting to dunk. So now answering this question of how to jump higher off 2 feet, I'm under the impression that you're a 1 foot jumper, boom, and you want to get better at jumping off 2 feet. So there's going to be a lot of crossover between this one and the first video with how to learn out of 1 foot, because that's just what it is. I wouldn't give you bad advice. It's not sometimes what you guys want to hear. I know you guys sometimes want a magic pill, but there's a series or a process, I should say, that your body has to go through by becoming, making a movement more natural. So if you're a 1 foot jumper, that timing, that rhythm, everything of being able to jump off 2 feet, especially when you got a basketball and having that body control, is gonna take time, and time equals now in this sense of repetitions as well. So give yourself, those couple weeks to be able to do this. Think about repetitively, hey, every single day I'm gonna do 10 jumps, even if they're low intensity, because really all you're doing is you're learning that motor pattern. So what I like to do, one of my #1 drills that I like to do when I teach somebody how to jump off 2 feet and they're a 1 foot jumper, is this machine right here, because this is essentially what taught me, to be honest with you. It's just a barrier jump, some kind of hurdle jump, right? And as you guys can see, we have sticks where we can go all the way up to a certain height. If you guys have seen my Instagram, I sometimes like to flash on here a little bit because I have a pretty good jump here. But really what you want to do is get your timing down and essentially just be able to approach it and essentially know the mechanics of learning how to jump. Now, I won't go into too much of those, but what I like to do, a lot of guys I see, sometimes they'll like stomp and then try to jump. Really, you gotta be able to learn how to absorb force, get that rhythm, boom, set up, have the arms come back. As the hands cross your hips start to extend, and then you jump over. Really, the reason why I like this is because it gets people kind of going naturally. It's just simply get over the hurdle. So however you got to do it, make sure you land off 2 feet and do it. Then as your time goes on, what happens, you start to smooth out. Let's say the first ones you approached it and we're like this, trying to jump. Now, next thing you know, by repetition, 100, it's dang, and I'm jumping up just like this, and I'm having a smooth transition as far as timing, approach, everything. So first and foremost, you have to put in time and repetitions. You got to learn that motor pattern if you're not familiar with it. If you're somebody who can already 2 foot jump, then what you do is you need to start increasing the intensity of that particular movement. So by that, if you're going 2 feet jump, what I like to do is I like to go box type of jump. So what I'll do is I'll take like a seated type of jump. So I'll take either a seat and you can perform a hurdle jump, boom, or you could go jump onto a box. Sometimes I like box because you don't have to come all the way down and be able to absorb that force on the other side. So by box, you're climbing up. The reason why I like the seated one is because it eliminates stretch shortening cycle, right? So it takes all that elasticity out of the muscles, and you've got to be able to produce force from this angle. I really like breaking the movement down. In fact, I like going a little bit higher and teaching the athlete to get that pop out of that. And that to me really, really works, so that when you do introduce stretch shortening, right, and we go back to that, you'll start to see your jump might have elevated, especially if you start to climb up a hurdle or a box with the seated box jumps. Finally, the last one is you guys could do this on a hurdle or the box as well. Same kind of advice I gave with the one-handed or one-footed, is resisting it, right? So like I said, my impression is that a lot of you guys want to get better to dunk. So I always say, make it specific. So if you're approaching a basket, right? Or let's say you have a basketball to start off with and you have this in your hands, imagine you having a drop step, boom, and then getting over a hurdle, right? Imagine just keeping it right at your chest with a basketball. Imagine approaching it how you would approach it. Take that arm out of it, right? You gotta have good body control to transfer efficiently through your torso. The other thing that you guys can improve to is doing just simple box jumps by having the ball or the 10-pound ball or going to a medicine ball, having it overhead, approaching the hurdle. Doing this on a box with it overhead, just coming from different angles so that you get used to it. really, like I said, you gotta kind of, instead of just playing ball and going out there and just playing and mindlessly doing it, you save yourself 10 minutes when you go to the court. Say, I'm gonna grab the basketball and I'm gonna perform 10 jumps and jump as high as I possibly can. And now you're jump training. But really what it comes down to, guys, when it comes to jumping on 2 higher feet, this is for you guys who are 1 foot jumpers, want to transition over to getting a good 2 foot jump. 1, give yourself the time to develop the motor patterns, right? You need time and reps. Think 1,000 reps to learn that particular movement. 2, I love static box jumps off 2 because you're eliminating that stretch shortening cycle. Once you reintroduce it, you're gonna see a big jump. 3, finish with actual sport specific, but make it resisted. Use a medicine ball, start jumping with it at your chest or above your head, just like you would a basketball. And when you start to go back to a basketball, you'll have that good body control. Not only that, that resistance from the ball is gone. So now you're gonna feel like you could jump out of the gym. So those are 3 little tips right there that you could do to start jumping higher off 2 feet for a 2 foot jumper. Now, obviously I have 1,000 videos when it comes to, maybe not 1,000, maybe 100 videos when it comes to just getting more height overall. So check those out as well. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Yo, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in increasing your vertical jump or becoming an overall more explosive athlete, go ahead and sign up for my advanced vertical series. It's actually free, where I send you lessons each day for the next 5 to 10 days, basically covering everything that you need to be able to get a higher vertical jump. I'll see you inside.